This video was brought to you by
This stupid fucking Muppet, man. I hate Muppets so much, but let's watch this shit.
Squarespace. For Christmas, all I wanted was a slick, professional website. And you know what Santa got me? Socks. Which I appreciated. And then later, the following year, unrelated to that, I learned about Squarespace. Squarespace gives consider it until it's really stuff here is something a little different. At the time of this recording, there is absolutely zero official word on Nintendo's next system or when we may actually see it. There are plenty of rumors, and I feel that logically we have to be getting fairly close, but there is nothing solid. That's why, right now, I want to make my biggest prediction yet. I want to predict what I think their next console will be.
Bro, this is my prediction for the next Nintendo console. I already told you this. It's literally going to be Switch games still playable on it, but it's just going to be a stronger console. Because ain't no way Nintendo's going to make a brand new console with brand new cartridges and brand new hardware in terms of, like, we're completely just, like, disregarding the Nintendo Switch. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be like a PlayStation 5 Pro, where it's going to be like a Switch Pro, where it's going to be better specifications. Any of the games that had frame rate issues on the original Switch is going to have much better frame rates, much better graphical comparisons. Yeah, 60 frames per second. Xenoblade's probably gonna, I mean, Xenoblade already runs fine, but we're talking about games like Bayonetta, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, all this type of shit. If this new console can fix all these games issues where they had like a bunch of frame rate dips and all this type of shit, and they just make a stronger console, I'll be all for it. Also, give us themes, for the love of God, Nintendo, you lazy bastards. How the hell have you never given us themes? What's going on, bro? What's going on? Also, give us messaging. Give us like a type of messaging, because look, let's be honest, Nintendo, on the Nintendo Switch, we are not using the mobile app to do voice chat. We aren't. I haven't met a single person ever in my existence that uses the mobile app to do the whole, hey, let's talk. No, bro, everybody's either using Discord or they're calling each other physically on the phones. Have an actual messaging system on the game. Stop thinking about the kids. And if you want to think about the kids, reinforce the parental controls for the parents, so the parents have to go above and beyond and do those things. Bro, just give us a proper operating system on that shit too. That's all I want.
Whole concept.
It's a kid's console. Man, you can say the same thing about Xbox, and you can say the same thing about PlayStation. They're all considered as kid consoles. Who gives a fuck, bro? At the end of the day, you gotta keep it a stack. Who is the market of people that are mostly buying all the Nintendo shit? Grown-ass fucking adults in their late 20s, mid-20s to their early 30s are buying Nintendo consoles. Yes, there is a market of children buying it, but majority of the people who are spending big bucks on Nintendo are adults.
As with all my predictions, This is not simply wishful thinking. I try to balance what I want to happen with what I realistically think could happen. I try to get into Nintendo's head, you know? I try to think like they think. And after much pondering, this is what I've come up with. The next Nintendo system is called the Switch 2. I have to believe that Nintendo...
I hope it's not called the Switch 2. What would be a good name? Nintendo NX. Yo, and before the NX actually comes back to life, Nintendo NX. Because look, here's the thing. Nintendo is very bad at these names. Because remember how hard it was to differentiate the DS? The Nintendo DS, the Nintendo DSi, the Nintendo DS Lite, the new Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, the 2DS. Bro, they gotta have a name that can make you differentiate the two without getting confused and flabbergasted. The Wii, the Wii N, and the Wii U, Super Nintendo Switch. You know what? If it was a Super Nintendo Switch,
Happy New Year, bro.
I don't know, bro. Sir Lux, thank you for the resub, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, baby.
Learned their lesson with the Wii U. I have to believe that they are smart enough to give their next system a simple, straightforward name in line with the rest of the tech industry that doesn't do anything to risk confusing consumers.
Yes.
I've thought about this so much. Put basically any possible word before or after the name Switch, and people are going to wonder what the thing even is. That's why this is just Switch 2. It is the next iteration of Switch. For the most part, the concept is identical, with no huge, weird gimmicks radically changing how people play. It's a handheld device that can connect to your TV using a dock. It's got 64 gigabytes of internal storage, which is enough, barely.
Nintendo, 128 minimum. The fact that you even accepted 64 gigs, We are in a new day and age. I literally just bought a 512 micro SD card and put it on my fucking Steam Deck, bro. And that shit was 30 bucks. I think you guys can at least start everybody out minimum 126 gigs. I don't want to see no double digit, no. Triple digits, please. Come on.
It's got Joy-Cons, which are the same as always, except maybe just a little sleeker and newer looking.
You said Nintendo be compressing their games really well. True, but then at the same time, it's like you got to take into consideration when you get a Nintendo console, right? If it starts off at 64 gigs, you're not getting the full 64 gigs. You're getting 64 gigs, and then you got to take into consideration the operating system, the updates, all that type of shit that also goes into it. So when you realistically think about it, when you get the Switch at 64 gigs, you really don't have 64 gigs. You have like maybe 60, maybe 59, 58 gigs, because you got to think about all the extra shit that has to go into the console itself. So in my honest opinion, 128 to start minimum. And then obviously, like, it's going to have the expansive SD card slot or whatever if they want. I don't know, bro.
And of course, without drift issues. The system has got an LCD screen.
He said no drift issues. Omega lol, bro. Omega lol. I don't think Nintendo's going to make like anything that crazy that's gonna like take off drift.
In same size as before, maybe just a little less bezel. It uses cartridges and is indeed backwards compatible, though I'll outline more on that in my yearly predictions video. Basically, it really is a Switch. Everything that the Switch did, however, the Switch 2 does better. And it's also got some extra bells and whistles. A lot of them, actually. Power-wise, it's similar to 8th gen consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One. It's actually slightly weaker, but close enough that it doesn't make a huge difference. Switch graphics were all—
Bro, stop, man. Nintendo, bro. Nah, bro. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that Nintendo's new console. It's like, oh, now Nintendo's new console is somewhat on par now with the PS4. Why? Regardless of how much the console's gonna cost, people are gonna buy it, bro. It's fucking Nintendo. They keep on thinking of, oh, affordability. Fuck that shit. Give us some freaking hardware. Give us some specs. Make the game stronger. You know what? Bro, I can't wait to get like a powerhouse Nintendo console and to see Monolith make the new Xenoblade game looking like Monster Hunter Worlds, bro. Imagine Xenoblade looking like Monster Hunter Worlds, man. You see the trees. You see all the creatures running around. Oh, my God. I'm a nut, bruh.
Already considered good enough for a vast number of customers, so the extra graphical shine plus more consistent frame rates and resolutions are immediately seen as a blessing. Nintendo naturally knows just how to get the most out of their hardware, and their launch titles are shockingly beautiful. I might be getting ahead of myself, but this is the system that's going to stick around for an unusually long time. The Switch was just a little bit too weak to meet everyone's needs, but Switch 2 is strong enough to do everything Nintendo needs it to do for the foreseeable future. We'll have a whole discussion about that later, though. As far as new marketable features go, one big one is that it has an open-face dock. The screen is visible even when the system is docked, and it can display something different from what's on the TV.
No. Why? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. My Switch is behind my screen, and I don't look at that shit at all. Nintendo, y'all don't gotta do all this fancy shit. Just make the console stronger. That's all I'm asking for.
Won't end up being—
And then what makes you think that it's gonna be a handheld? The Switch 2, honestly speaking, I think it's gonna be a stationary home console like the PS5, Xbox Series S or X or whatever. It's not gonna be a hybrid. It's gonna be a console where you gotta leave it in one spot of the house and then you gotta play with the controller on your TV. You said it's 100% gonna be a handheld? You think so? You said Switch being a handheld is what made it famous? So what you think is gonna be like a Steam Deck? They gonna make like a stronger version of the Steam of like the Switch OLED? They keeping it as a hybrid? You know what? If they were to make some shit like the Steam Deck, this is all I'm asking for. I don't want detachable Joy-Cons. My Steam Deck, having the fucking shit in the shit, perfect. Perfect. I don't like the whole Joy-Con shit where I'm like, I can take off the Joy-Cons. Nah. Bro, keep the cons or keep the shit. Bro. You said the incoming drift. That's another thing, bro. Nintendo, if they're gonna make this new console, they better make it with at least, you know, better quality parts. Like, I don't want 4 months down the line, I'm playing Zelda and I see Link walking by himself. You said if they don't fix their issues, then hell no. Nah, they better fix that shit. Because ain't no way I'm gonna be out here trying to buy new Joy-Cons every 6 months. Joy-Cons are expensive, bro. And then some people in the chat's gonna be like, hey man, just buy the joystick by itself and then I gotta play Operation with my fucking Joy-Cons. I ain't got time for that, bro.
As big of a deal as Nintendo initially makes it out to be, and it won't have a ton of solid applications within actual games. Certain HUD elements can be displayed on the
Yo, I still haven't played Mario Wonder. That's crazy to me.
screen, mini maps, alerts, that kind of thing. But the feature will be used most outside of games. You see, another new thing for Switch 2 is its front and rear facing cameras. This makes it very similar to the 3DS, but it takes the concept a lot further. And the cameras plus the open face dock combine to deliver a tremendous amount of social features. That's really the Switch 2's big thing, connecting with friends and utilizing social media. The front-facing camera lets you video chat with friends and take pictures to share. The popular option, though, is sending short video clips to each other. This feature is greatly highlighted in marketing and will go on to become
One of y'all in the chat gonna show y'all dick. And then y'all gonna send clips of y'all dick to somebody in Discord. I already know y'all. This is some weird shit. Y'all gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, yo, Afro, yo, can you send me like how I could get to this area in Monster Hunter Rise real quick? And then he just sent me a clip and he just hit me with a quick helicopter windmill and then it just cuts off and I'm just there scarred. I'm there like, I know you did not just do that, bro. You said why, bro?
Become a very popular option. You can't stream games from the Switch 2, but you can capture your face cam and audio during recorded clips.
That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening.
And this will be a huge deal on social media. Clip sharing was already good on Switch, but now you get a person's live reaction to what they're playing. Similar.
Nah, bro, it's similar to like somebody streaming, so then the whole time, somebody gonna try to upload it on Twitter and it's gonna be all crunchy. It's gonna be like 360p. I don't know.
2 clips of streamers. That's something that Xbox and PlayStation don't have, and it's gonna be a constant source of fun. Clips have a much longer time limit too, up to 3 minutes. Though you might be thinking, it's gonna be awkward trying to sit in such a way that the docked Switch can see your face, so if you want to share clips, you've probably got to play handheld, right? Well, that's why Nintendo will sell a camera accessory to put on your desk. They want people sharing clips of their games as much.
This is not happening, bro. This is the biggest amount of copium I've ever seen.
Much as possible. That camera is a bit of an awkward solution to the problem, but to Nintendo, it's important. Even further, AR plays a big role here. The rear-facing camera can and will be used to gamify your surroundings, and there are plenty of little tech demos to play around with.
Yo, people barely even play with AR as it is. When AR came out, people
Can't
like,
wait to play Smash on the next Switch and people swinging slurs around in the game's voice chat.
Bro, I've been dying to have in-game voice chat on Smash Bros, but I don't know, bro. Nintendo too scared to do that shit. It would be great if it happens, and if they were to make another Smash Brothers game, for the love of God, put a proper ranked mode, put a proper leaderboard, Put a proper something, bro, because Smash in its entirety was a shit show. Also, put taunting, bro. Bring back Gamba in Smash Bros, man. Stop.
Of the box. There's one where you can put Nintendo characters around your house, and you can even have Mario run around and...
You said Global Smash Power? Bro, Global Smash Power is one of the biggest pieces of dog shit in terms of like a global ranking system I've ever seen. You can manipulate that shit. You can literally just make lobbies say, have items on in the lobbies, 1 stock, 30-second match. Bro, you can manipulate that shit. It's stupid. The Global Smash Power is terrible.
Jump up on your counters
terrible.
And stuff. Only time will tell if Nintendo or others will properly utilize this feature to its fullest potential, or if it'll just be another silly gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
AR though, that is something Nintendo will push a lot harder. Switch 2 can apply filters to your face and make you look like you're me.
That would be kind of cool. Like where it could look at my face and then it could like make a me of me automatically by just looking at me. But I don't know.
Or other Nintendo characters in real time. It can also make it look like they're posing in a picture with you. There will be loads of filters and effects and frames and all that to spice up your pictures, clips, and video calls. The power of the Switch 2 will make it all work really seamlessly, and it'll be something people really do enjoy playing around with. As with a lot of Switch 2's features, this is a Nintendo spin on something that people already enjoy doing. Speaking of which, Nintendo knows that the Switch can't compete with your phone. The Switch can get carried around with you, but your phone is the thing that you've got on you at all times. That's why the spiffy new Switch app helps your phone and your Switch 2 complement each other. Much like the 3DS, Switch 2 games give you bonuses for walking, for moving around. Only this time, data is captured on your phone and shared with your Switch when they're both connected to the network. This includes steps, but...
Man, spoofers are about to go crazy with this shit. Spoofers about to go crazy with this shit. I'm about to be like, hey, I'm walking, but I'm not.
Also, the types of locations you visit and the people you come in contact with. That's right, Street Pass is back. Your phone and your Switch 2 are always talking. Everything you do feeds into your game.
I'm not gonna lie, I did like Street Pass. I liked it, but then I feel like they didn't go too in on it, if that makes any sense.
And let's talk a little more about that open face dock. Thanks to the camera, the Switch 2 can identify your face, turn on, and show you stuff when you walk in the room.
I don't like that. That means that it's on at all times watching me. I don't like that.
Absolutely, but it's too much fun not to use. There will be a feature where you can have Nintendo characters just chilling on the screen when you're not using your Switch, and they can use the camera to see where you are and point at you and wave and stuff, like a little Nintendo fish tank. More importantly though, the screen can display any kind of notification. Nintendo has been wanting to get into the quality of life business for a long time now.
Have they? Have they really? Because their quality of life is terrible. Have they?
They want their products to be a regular part of your day, even when you're not playing games. Well, Switch 2 aims to see that goal finally realized. It'll feature a number of wellness apps that utilize the Switch app's data collection and keep you picking up your Switch to check your progress on stuff. It cannot be overstated just how important this new app is. The original Switch app was nothing compared to this. This is something you're genuinely supposed to use all the time. In fact, you can message your friends through it just like on your Switch, and it even has some filters and stuff too. As highlighted in marketing, the Switch was all about switching between docked and handheld play, but this time there's extra emphasis on switching between using Nintendo services on your Switch 2 and on your phone. Imagine you're out of the house, you're using your
Bro, remember this shit on the Switch, bro? Remember this fucking travesty right here? Remember this? Remember this fucking pile of dog shit? Yo, Nintendo. Nintendo, you gonna act like I forgot. I didn't forget. You said, oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, this is how you can do voice chat in Splatoon properly. Yo, Nintendo, I didn't forget. I didn't forget, Nintendo.
Switch app to talk to friends and post silly Nintendo filter stuff on social media. Then you come home and your Switch is displaying some cute little animated Mario clock, and when it sees you, it chimes to let you know you've walked enough steps to earn some coins in some game. So you boot up the game to check it out, and then maybe you share that achievement on social media. We'll be seeing a lot of this exact sequence in the commercial.
Oh, they're talking about an achievement system. I've been saying this forever about Nintendo. They have no achievement system. That's why I feel so unincentivized to 100% shit. Like, okay, I could just lie out my ass and say I 100% every game I play. No one would believe me, and no one could even verify if I'm telling the truth or not, because I could just lie.
Commercials, I promise you. One important thing to mention, though. All this ain't free. The Switch 2 has got some fun little AR stuff built in, and basic step counting functionality will work with your games. Maybe there's like one free clock and one free fish tanky character or something, but just about all of the Switch 2's social and quality of life features are enabled through an online membership. That's right, Nintendo Switch Online has also received a big overhaul, and you've got to pay even more if you want access to all of Switch 2's features. This is its own new
And I know for a fact with the Switch 2 shit, watch. The Switch 2 features, if they do an online overhaul, they're going to be grimy with it. They're going to be like, hey, exclusive with the Switch 2. If you get Nintendo Switch Online with the Nintendo Switch 2, you can now have GameCube games, and you can now have games from the Wii or some shit. Watch, like they gonna do like a whole thing that's gonna make you feel like shit. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they're grimy enough to be like, also, if you get the Switch 2 and you get the online, we'll give anybody who has the Switch 2 with the expensive online all the Pokemon games, bruh. They'd be like, here's the whole Pokemon app. You can play red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. They're gonna have the whole shit, and you already know everybody gonna eat that shit up. And everybody who got the regular Switch has no access to it. They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be pissed, and then the scalpers are gonna be like this. They're gonna be licking their lips, rubbing their hands every 5 months. They're gonna drop like 2 Wii games from the Wii series. Yup.
Payment tier, and let's just call it the QOL tier. Most filters and AR stuff, both on the Switch and your phone, it's all paywalled. And unfortunately, video chat and video messages also require a subscription. You can text message each other and share clips on social media for free, but that's it. So yeah, that's another thing you might feel like you need to pay for. And yes, the expansion pack is still separate from the main library of games, leaving you now with 3 different things to pay for. Good news though, you don't have to wait for Nintendo to release all these old games again. The entire library on Switch is instantly available on Switch 2. Even more, GameCube games will trickle onto the expansion pack throughout the Switch 2's.
I told you, that's how they gonna get you. That's how they gonna get you. You're gonna be like, why would I need a Switch 2? Then they're gonna introduce GameCube. Then you're gonna realize a lot of the games that run like shit on the OG Switch run better. And then they have all these features and shit, and they're probably, I'm not gonna lie, they like he said, they're probably gonna increase the online's price again. They're gonna increase it again, bro.
Life, with a decent lineup ready a few months after launch. Getting as many people as possible to subscribe to NSO is Nintendo's big goal this generation.
Yep.
Thanks to the social features available on your phone and maybe some other phone-centric stuff as well, they hope that some people subscribe to the service before they even have Switch 2s. Time will tell if anyone actually does that, but it's theoretically possible. And Nintendo will continue to add to the service over the years. New filters and AR stuff, new clocks and fish tanky characters, new wellness apps, everything. And of course, with another tier added onto the service, it only makes sense that there's one subscription option that ties everything together for one price, and we've still got deep discounts for families sharing the service, so that's good. And even better, pie in the sky prediction time. NSO will eventually offer Nintendo-produced shows and videos, like a little streaming platform in itself. Someday, we'll even have access to music streaming. Many Nintendo soundtracks will be available for us to enjoy. Finally. Lastly, let's talk pricing. I don't feel like coming up with prices for NSO.
Bro, I feel like they're gonna, for a single person, they might actually be grimy enough to be like 60 like PlayStation. PlayStation, and mind you, PlayStation's upgraded. So they might be like, instead of 60, nah, it's probably gonna be 60 a year for a single person. And then if you want a family plan, it's gonna be 80 a whole year, maybe 90 a whole year. I don't know.
Oh, I really have no idea. But the system itself initially comes in 2 SKUs. $350 for the standard model, which comes in white, and $400 for the deluxe model, which is black with colored Joy-Cons and comes with more internal storage, which ends up just being an extra 64 gig card slotted into it. And 1 year of the NSO premium membership for free. Nintendo really wants to make money on this thing, but they know they need to price competitively, thus the 2 SKUs. They also really want people locked into NSO, so giving them a year to start helps with that. There's a lot of little details missing here. I didn't want to go too deep into it, but basically, that is my vision for Nintendo's next system. And
That's a very nice. I don't know what's gonna happen, but whatever does happen, happens.